I think my hawks that are in the area was hawking because I'm seeing a squirrel casualty. Should I be happy that I see a squirrel casualty? Yes. Hey, Fran. It is a little bit past 12. I'm getting a late start because I had to run more errands than I had planned for. But it's like 60 degrees right now. It's going to rain. I'm going to reset these garden beds. And don't worry, I'm not going to make you sit through it. We're going to talk about trellising. So let me let the dog that is destructive in. The one that's not destructive is going to be out with me in the garden. Well, I hope that this microphone is working. I said, I have this microphone. Let's try to use it. But I think my hawks that are in the area was hawking because I'm seeing a squirrel casualty. Should I be happy that I see a squirrel casualty? Yes. But the squirrels did leave me something, and I still have plenty of them, so the hawk has a little bit more work to do. But squirrel casualties. And I don't know if I should let this dog out with me, but that's squirrel fur. Zoe, I don't know what's out here. I don't want you to eat something that you shouldn't. No, I don't want you to eat something that you shouldn't. What am I gonna do? Because you will try to eat that. No, see, you're eating that already. You're eating that already. Nope. Nope. You're eating that little bit of fur already. So I was out here when I was gonna get ready to garden, just looking to see what type of weeds are coming up that I need to pull by hand. And I was watching my stuff because it might be dog poo. And me and Fran was just talking about it. But look what I found. Sunflower seeds. They sprouted. And I know that's thanks to the squirrels. So that's one win.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. A win is a win.
But garbage all in my yard. But anyway, I'm rambling and I don't have a lot of battery life. So I'm going to tackle these beds and then we're gonna discuss some trellising. Yeah. Well, we'll see. If not today, I'll pick you up tomorrow. Okay, so I'm back out here another day. I actually did record something when I was talking about trellises, and I was looking crazy. I didn't like it. I didn't like how I shot it. So we just gonna talk, okay? Now, I have bought two things, one over the winter and one recently, in regards to trellising. Everybody can't get a cattle panel. Cattle panels are great. You can do big arches that are 7 feet tall when you bend it and things like that, but everybody can't do that. In my previous recording, I talked about this trellis and I put a little clip in there. That was a trellis that I used for my melons. It was actually the door, which was previously a dog, like a panel of a dog cage. And we used that for the door, and I came home and to repurpose things, used it as a trellis. And it works very well. It's just this year, I need a bigger trellis. So I switched it out with this. Now this is a 3x6 fence panel that I got from Menards. It was originally over here on my shade tent, but in this front part I had a 4x8, and so a 4x8 with a 3x6, it didn't match, and that was bugging me, and that's also what I was banging my head on. So a couple of days ago I did get another 4x8, and it doesn't look gorgeous. I will try to fix it, but it's bending over. And to be honest, I may not even need that trellis or this panel coming down over the shade tent. I had originally planted morning glories. I dropped the seeds in there in the fall so they could grow up over here. Last year I did have loofah. I'm not really seeing anything from the morning glories, so I decided to put some sweet peas in there, and I'm gonna have that grow over my shade tent. We'll see how much this trellis is. If it doesn't need that full thing, I might move that to somewhere else. But that 4x8 trellis you could get at Menards, and it's about $21. I wanted the 3x6 here because I'm going to plant cucumbers here this year, and I need something strong and tall. Another trellising idea. You know, my hair be looking cute, I feel like, in the mirror, and then I get on here and looking crazy. Another trellising idea I had was the black netting, like the fencing that I used as a fence for my community garden. I actually put up along my fence because I thought that was going to keep the rabbits out. Wrong. They chewed through it. But that's neither here or there. It does somewhat help keep garbage out of my yard. I always have garbage in my yard, but I would have way more if I didn't have that fencing up, because the garbage, I have this main street, and then kids walking home from school in their garbage, and wind, the garbage will come in between the fence panels. And with my dogs, I have to be careful because I don't want them eating things that they shouldn't. So it did come in handy for that. I used it as a trellis. I got 2 T-posts when I put this raised garden bed in, and with zip ties I connected that fencing. I had on here summer squash, and at the time I didn't know it was summer squash because a friend told me it was cucumbers, and it got too big. And then I did more trellising over going into my grapevine. It was a mess. It was a mess last year. Everything got too heavy. Downside to using that type of fencing is when weight gets on it and it gets hot, it stretches and it doesn't look tight, and so it gets a little, I don't know if it comes up, but it gets a little wavy. Another type of trellising I use masonry ladders. I saw it on a whole lot of other vlogs. Theirs look much better. I don't take care of my stuff. If I'm not using it, I throw it off to the side and it gets bent and distorted and all kinds of things. But it kind of looks like a hoop that you would make for a hoop house. Some people, you know, they'll weave twine around it to give vines more things to connect to. And I want to say they're about 10 feet long and maybe, I don't know, 6 inches wide. Good trellising. You could get a high arch. That's a good alternative to a cattle panel if you don't need anything that's wide, but you need a high arch. You just connect 2 together using twine or however you want to connect it, and make your arch that way. I use this in my community garden. I use it at home. Very useful, very cost effective. So this at the time was $18 on Amazon. I'll put the specs up. It is metal. It is connected by these screws. I'm afraid about, you know, if they're gonna rust, we'll see. And it is a little flimsy, I'm not gonna lie, but we have had plenty of thunderstorms and windstorms and it held up. I anchored it in by using shorter T-posts into the garden bed and zip tying it, so I have one there and one on the other leg. And so far, so good. I was trying to push it in and, you know, stepping on it, trying to push it into the dirt, but I felt like I was gonna break it. This is going to be the trellis for my sweet potatoes when it comes time to plant them out. And that's all I got. That's all I got for that. But you can see, different than from the beginning of this video, my garden beds. I did a little snapshot in my last video. I redid the dirt. put down the straw. The birds are loving the straw. They're coming by and making nests. Taking my straw with them, but that's okay. I got these sprouts. This is supposed to be collard greens. So out of all those seeds I dropped, 2 sprouts. Every pot that you see straw on is prepped. So when it comes time to plant, all I gotta do is add the fertilizer and plant my plants. I wanted to have that done. I still have, let's see, my wooden garden bed left to do. Get all that crap out of that planter, do that. My plastic planter, I'm gonna move that out, those 2 planters, and my green stalk, and I got another green stalk. But it's better than not having anything. But let's talk about garbage. This is his foolishness. Now these are dog treats. They're heavy, so they obviously did not fly into my yard, which means that someone threw it into my yard in hopes that my dogs will get to it. I don't know if it's poisoned. I don't know. But someone threw that into my yard, and I very much don't appreciate it. And I think it's the same neighbors who put their Modelo in my trash can. And this is why I can't. This is one of the reasons why, if you ever notice, I don't have my dogs out. I can't. I do not trust anybody. I'm so irritated. Hold on. The whole situation just blew me. Because how you just gonna throw what you don't want that you got for your dog, because they got a little dog, in my yard? If you want to give my dog something, you give it to me. You don't just throw it in my yard. Which makes me believe one time after a party, I found the bone to a steak and right over there. They threw it right over there. My dogs found it. And you can't give dogs cooked bones. They splinter, they can get sick. Like, I don't know, they feel like my yard is their disposal for my dogs. And I was already feeling some sort of way because I believe it was them that cut my sunflower and took my, like, I had to get off and talk to Boo. Boo said he's going to go over there and talk to them. I don't need to. I threw that bag right back over to their side of the fence. Oh, this video did not go anyway the way I wanted it. Like, I'm trying to talk about trellising, but trellising. I don't know. Until next time, friends. I'm done. Bye.